Hi, my name is Vidas Pinkevicius, and in this video I would like to show you how to master any organ composition. I will give you exact steps, exact instructions how to master any organ compositions, whether slow or fast, easy, medium or difficult. And in this video let's take an example, the famous chorale prelude by Bach, Ich ruf zu dir, Herr Jesu Christ, from Orgelbuchlein, number BWV 639. Very first thing you have to do when playing this piece of music, just play it through, okay, a couple of times to get used to this, to the sound, to the texture, and see how it goes, okay? It will be not fast, it will be definitely just an introduction to this piece, okay? Very first thing you have to do, just to get familiar with this piece. Let's try. Okay, so we played it through a couple of times just to get used to it. And the next step in mastering any organ composition, and for this matter this particular prelude, chorale prelude, will be to separate voices and play and practice and master each hand at a time, each line at a time. This chorale prelude is constructed in three voices. One voice is in the right hand, the left hand takes this middle voice, and the pedal part has the bass part, okay? So first of all, let's play the right hand. But it is not necessary to play and master the entire top voice from the beginning till the end, because the piece is rather long, the entire page, so to say. One of the main things we have to do is to subdivide the piece in smaller fragments, into manageable units, and then work and master these units, okay? So I suggest to cut the piece into smaller fragments according to the chorale lines, chorale phrases, okay? And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 phrases, okay? 1 and 2 are repeated, and this gives particular form of this chorale, the bar form. A, okay, repeated A, and then the longer section B. This is called the bar form. And many of the chorale preludes, Lutheran chorale preludes especially, use this bar form. So let's take the right hand and play the very first phrase. If it's easy, that's okay, but if it's a little difficult, let's talk about a few main points which are important to mastering this line, okay? The first thing is, of course, the notes. The notes have to be correct. Then the fingering, okay? If you're using the correct fingering, you might want to write in the fingering. Always avoid playing with the thumb on the sharp keys, okay? And interesting thing is, at the end of this measure, of this phrase, is a long trill. Let's take a look. Here it is. In this case, this trill has to be played from the upper note. It is written on the note B flat, but we have to play it from the upper note, not from B flat, but from C. Like that, okay? And once we get the fingering, the notes, then we can talk about the rhythm, okay? Rhythm is important in this phrase too. So, 3/4 notes, and then these last 4 notes are sort of dotted rhythm, okay? For some people it's rather difficult rhythm. Then we have to subdivide, okay? When we encounter difficult rhythms, we have to subdivide the beat, not necessarily in half notes, but also in quarter notes, in 8th notes, or even in 16th notes, like here. 1 and then the rhythm will be correct. So my suggestion will be about the first line will be like that. You have to play this line at least 3 times correctly in a row, okay? So, we talked about the rhythm, notes, fingering, okay? Let's talk about the next point, articulation. You perhaps noticed that I didn't play entire line legato, okay? The tradition for the Baroque music, especially until the 19th century, is to play with the articulated style, articulated touch. Basically, there have to be small rests between the notes, small. It's like playing with articulation, but with cantabile style, singing manner, very connected, but with a little articulation. Like here. Okay. Be aware that this articulation is called articulate legato, or the ordinary touch. Articulate legato means that it sounds like legato from the distance, from the church, okay, from the nave, but you have to articulate. Otherwise, it will be very unarticulated manner. It will be difficult to recognize the beats, the pulse, the accents. Okay, articulation gives all that. So that was the right hand. Okay, we played it a few times correctly. Now let's take the middle voice. If it's correct, played 3 times in a row, then it will be okay. Okay, make sure you have to play at least 3 times. If you want, you can play 5 or even 10 times correctly. That will be even more. Your mastery will be even more complete. Okay, now the pedal line. Until the beginning of the second phrase. And if it's correctly, then we can move to the second stage to play in 2 parts. Okay, and there are various combinations, right and left. Okay. Correctly, then we can play a couple of times more in a row correctly, and then move to the right and pedals. Okay. Stop at the beginning of the new phrase. That's important, because then we can connect the old phrase with the new, and when we start the new phrase, we already know the connection very well, and it's important. Now we can play the left hand and the pedals. Is very fluid and has entirely 16th notes. You can slow down the tempo a bit, maybe one third. Okay, and when we slow down, it will be easier. So we master this combination a few times correctly in a row, and once we do that, we can play entire first phrase in 3 parts, the complete texture. Okay, let's try. Okay, and let's master this texture a few times, and it will be a complete first fragment done. Okay, maybe that will be enough for the first day when you practice. Okay, then we need 6 days, because we have 6 fragments, and each day you practice 1 fragment. The next day you practice the second fragment, but of course repeat the first fragment. The third day you practice the third fragment, but repeat 1 and 2. and so on. You add, you repeat, you remember what you have learned, okay, and at the end of the 6th day, you will know all 6 fragments. Maybe at the end of the 7th day you can repeat all 7 altogether, okay, and that is one way to practice. Let's take the second fragment. The soprano line. Okay, I made a mistake. I have to now correct it 3 times correctly. Okay, that's the soprano line. Now let's take the left hand. Okay, 3 times in a row, correctly. And then the pedal part. That's almost correct. And now let's move on to the second stage, 2 voice combinations. The hands. It's tricky. The left hand is quite tricky because the composer wrote in legato slurs, legato 4-note pattern, okay, and we have to be aware that we have to lift at the end of the 4th note and not to connect it with the next beat, like that. That's correct. That's not very good. Okay. Lift. Of course, not so much, but I give you an example of how it's done. The articulation has to be precise, and it has to be small but very correct. And if you perform it correctly, the listener will perceive it very clearly, the texture, the 3-part polyphonic texture. Okay. Now let's take the second combination with hands and pedal, right and pedal. In a row at least. And the left hand pedal now. Okay, a mistake. I have to correct. Maybe not necessarily from the beginning of the phrase, but maybe the beginning of that beat, okay, of that measure. Measure 5. Okay, a few times correctly. And now let's take all 3 voices together. Second phrase. Sorry. this fragment, and it will be perfect. The first, we know already the first two phrases. Now let's take the third beginning of the third phrase, only the soprano line. Okay, and we stop here. Now let's take the left hand. Pedals. Okay, now two voices. The right hand and the left hand together. And now we can practice all three voices together, if we know combination of two, okay? All three. Okay, and now we are ready for the fourth fragment, okay? Okay, now that was the soprano line, now the middle voice. And the pedals. Okay, when we master separate voices together, separate voices alone, sorry, then we're ready for the combination of two voices, soprano and alto. Soprano and bass. bass. I made a mistake now. I have to correct. Maybe from the beginning of that phrase. Again. At least 3 times in a row correctly. I have to repeat this combination now. And when we're ready now, we can move to the last version, all 3 voices combined. To the next phrase. 1, 2, 3 more phrases left. Okay. These are very short. They are not regular phrases. Not shorter than the beginning. Okay, and they take less time. But let's take the next phrase. Soprano. Alto. Sorry, it starts from this. Okay, if it's okay, now we can move to the pedal part. Two voices combined, soprano and alto. Okay, until here, soprano and bass. Bass. Okay, we can stop here. And the 3 voices together. Now let's take maybe the entire last line. It'll be like 2 phrases combined, but it's not quite difficult, so let's take two phrases combined. It'll be faster for now. Soprano line. That's quite possible to play two phrases together if it's not too difficult, okay? The left hand will be more complicated. Let's see if I play correctly, then I can play both phrases together. If I make mistake, then I have to subdivide those and play just one at a time, okay? Let's take a look. The left hand. Now the pedal line. At least 3 times correctly. The pedal takes longer to learn and master, okay? So maybe you will need 5 or even 10 times correctly this line. And now let's take both hands together from that point. The right hand and the pedals. And the left hand and pedal. Done. Now we are ready for the last combination. All 3 voices combined. A couple of hesitations here, and then I have to go back and do them at least 3 times correctly. So I play the one last time for you this phrase. can work and step-by-step approach with this prelude, chorale prelude. Okay, one day we can master one fragment, second day the second fragment, and repeat the first, and so forth, one fragment at a time, in combinations. The second way to practice this piece, of course, is to play and master all voices separately from the beginning till the end. Okay, that takes a little more will and energy and courage to do, but it's possible. So, for example, one day you can practice the soprano line from the beginning till the end. You can subdivide, of course, into these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or more fragments, but one day you can practice just one line. Okay. The same day, okay, you can practice the alto line as well, the line alto, okay, and then the pedal line from the beginning till the end. That's the one day practice. Okay. The second day you come to the organ bench and you can practice in combinations two voices. For example, soprano and alto, just one day. Okay. The next day soprano and pedal, and then the next alto and pedal throughout. Okay. And then the very last day would be three voice combinations complete. That's also possible, when whatever you feel comfortable more. Today I taught you in fragments. That's how I practice. I practice in fragments. That's more convenient because you can I can correct my mistakes right away when I practice, because the fragments are quite short, few measures at a time, mostly 2 measures or even shorter, 1 measure, sometimes 4 measures. Okay, it depends on the music. So that's how you master and practice and learn any type of organ composition, line by line, combination, and in 2 voices and 3 voices. If any chorale prelude can have, for example, 4 voices, then you might add 3 voice combinations. For example, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4. Okay, that's a 2 voice combination. But 3 voice combination 1, 2, 3 would be 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. Okay, and 2, 3, 4, and only then 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very important that you master all voices separately, okay, not all together, because together it's quite complicated, this polyphonic texture. But if you subdivide and separate the voices, separate the texture, and do at your own pace and to your own speed, whatever you feel most comfortable with, then you can progress the faster, okay, and it only takes a few days to learn this and master. Okay, of course we can later memorize the piece in order to know it really well, and memorization process is also quite similar to the learning the piece from sight. We can also work in combinations, in fragments, and so forth. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful for you, and I hope you will practice to become a better organist. Thank you.